Ben Jackson with you through until 2 this afternoon. Now, as we discussed on the show yesterday, this month is LGBTQ plus month. And the process of coming out can be an incredibly daunting experience for a whole host of reasons. One of those reasons might be the fact that there aren't lots of gay, lesbian or bisexual role models in a certain industry. For example, one such industry, I think it's fair to say, is the beauty pageant industry. Well, Jen Atkin has started something of a change. She's the first winner of the coveted Miss GB title to come out as bi or gay in its 75-year history. One of the first people that Jen actually told was Kate Solomons from Leicester, no stranger to this show. Kate is no stranger to beauty contests itself as well. She's been involved with pageants for, 20-odd years, formerly as a competitor, but now organising regional heats across the UK. And I'm delighted to say that Kate's with us now. Hi, Kate.
Hello, how are you, Dan?
Look, I'm really good. It seems a while since we spoke, but how important is this, do you think?
I think it's really important, to be honest. I mean, I guess in 2021, coming out as gay or bisexual should be a non-story. But Jen hopes that by sharing her story, this will help towards that being the case in future. We've made huge leaps within the LGBTQ plus, awareness and within the community, such as introducing legislation for gay marriages. But unfortunately, we're not quite there yet. So she hopes that if she can open up and help at least one person who may be listening today, then opens up a conversation with their family, and then it'll have all been worthwhile.
I mean, look, you have to say, and it's a dreadful thing to even say it, to be honest, that I've got a lot of respect for her for just sticking her head above the parapet, because there's no doubt, I mean, heaven only knows the kind of social media reaction that she's got. I'm hoping that the vast majority of it will be positive, but no doubt some people won't be so accommodating, which seems peculiar, I suppose. But when she spoke to you, what did you say to her?
I just said, "That's great. That's great news. It's you. As long as you can be yourself, then that's absolutely fine. I'm just absolutely over the moon that she felt confident to speak to me, as her director, and she's been in her reign now since February last year. So we've been there supporting her throughout the year, as different as it has been for many sort of former Miss Great Britain. Literally a couple of weeks later, going into lockdown, I just said to her, as long as you're comfortable and you're being yourself, then it makes no difference to us whatsoever.
What reaction did she have to it? I mean, what were people saying to her?
I am over the moon to say it has been really positive.
Great.
It has. I mean, even before we do the final of Miss Great Britain, we hold what we call a masterclass training day, because overnight these girls get thrown into the media and they're, within their regional titles before whoever wins the final national title. With social media nowadays, people feel that they've got the right to have a say into other people's lives, and that I know you've heard the term keyboard warrior. People will just say whatever they're feeling. So we try and get the finalists prepared for any kind of media that they may be talking about. I mean, after Jen initially won last February, the first thing she spoke about was the fact that she'd lost 8 stone and transformed herself, sort of thing, and really worked hard at trying to lose weight and become a healthier person. And now that she's opened up and come out as being bisexual, she was concerned that she'd get some negativity, but the support that she's had, and especially across the pageant industry as well, a lot of people have got in touch and said, thank you so much for doing this, because I feel more comfortable now about speaking to my family and friends.
Look, it's an interesting thing, isn't it? The pageant industry, look, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think, in recent years, and 10 years or whatever it might be, has become much more about people showing the sort of best person they can be, being themselves. It's not just about physical appearance. And if you can't be honest about your sexuality, then the industry needs fixing.
Absolutely. I mean, Ben, like you said, I've been involved in the industry for 20 years now, first as a contestant, then as an organiser, and now sort of running the national competition. And it has changed so much. People still have misconceptions of pageants. We're not looking for the most beautiful girl. They work hard. They have to express talents. It's about their personality and their contribution to the community. Last year, we hit our fundraising target of raising over £180,000 in the time that I've been, running Miss Great Britain. So there is so much more to pageants, and as you say, it's so important for whatever industry you are in, just to be yourself. We need to combat these prejudice, and the timing-wise, this is when Jen has chosen to come out, but then, it is also LGBTQ plus Awareness Month, which is exciting, informative, and it's a month to celebrate and educate our prejudices. So it's important to talk about it.
Well, she seems like a pretty inspirational person, it has to be said. And also, the fact that she's, taking up fitness and all kinds of things. She seems like an amazing person. Kate, thank you for coming on. Listen, the last time we spoke, you were actually standing outside the Houses of Parliament campaigning for support for the events industry. What's happened since?
Well, I'm still working closely with ForgottenLtd. We are just coming up to a year, as everybody knows, of the pandemic and the lockdown. ForgottenLtd have worked alongside a lady called Rebecca Seeley-Harris, the ACCA and the Federation of Small Businesses to put together a proposal called the DIS, which is Directors' Income Support Scheme, to directors like myself and people who own small businesses that have had no support throughout the whole pandemic. So that's been with the Treasury since before Christmas, and we are hoping to hear before or around the sort of March budget. But
so you've had no support at all. You've not been able to essentially furlough yourself or anything.
As a director, if they furlough ourselves, we're not actually allowed to work on our business. We're allowed to do VAT returns and do work that's sort of for HMRC, for example. But we're not actually allowed to promote and get out there and do work and keep our business afloat. And as a director as well, just a small proportion of furlough is paid. So I have had to do that because the events industry is completely on hold. But that's entitled me to £110 a week throughout this, which doesn't cover the weekly shop, let alone, office rent, phone bills.
So it's been a stressful time.
It's been a very difficult year. I've returned to teaching. So I used to be a primary school teacher 12 years ago. And in November, I went back to being a primary school teacher. So I haven't stopped. My company's still there, and I'm hoping it will pick back up. But yes, I've been so fortunate that I've got teaching as well as a background, and I've been welcomed into a school in Leicester that I've been supporting them throughout this as well. It's been great.
Kate, you're equally an amazingly resilient person, and it's great to have you on the show. Thank you so much. Keep in touch with us.
Definitely will do.
What was it like going back into the classroom after over a decade?
It was daunting at first, but you know what? Children are just the most amazing people to be around. And it's because I've been in the events industry and running children's themed events. Some days I've worked with 200 children running those events. So it wasn't as scary as it could have been. And it really is so rewarding. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster of a year, as I'm sure it has for many people, but yeah, still staying positive then.
All right, Kate, you are always very positive. Listen, you're welcome on any time. Good luck and keep in touch.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Yeah, you too. There are Kate Solomons from Leicester joining us here on BBC Radio Leicester.